Hello, today we are starting the second chapter of the first book of political science for class 12th. The name of the chapter is Era of One Party Dominance. As we already completed the first chapter, now we are in the second chapter. In this chapter, actually, we will complete it in 5 videos. Today is the first video of this chapter, and the first topic is Challenge of Building Democracy. See, the first and the foremost challenge for our country after getting independence is how we run the country. Up to now, our country was run by the British government, but after getting independence, first and the foremost challenge for our country, and you can say for our leader, was how will we run our country. So our leaders have decided to run our country in a democratic manner, whereas all the countries which has gained independence, like with India, they have adopted for a non-democratic rule, or you can say for a military dictatorship rule, because they don't think that democracy is good for their country and good for the society. But our leaders have decided that they will run their country in a democratic manner. So I am reading from the first paragraph, fourth line. Leaders in many other countries of the world decided that their country could not afford to have democracy. Here I am highlighting the word afford, that the country could not afford to have democracy. They said that national unity was their first priority and that democracy will introduce differences and conflicts. उनको ऐसा लगने लगा कि डेमोक्रेसी आने से बहुत ज़्यादा differences and conflicts हो जाएंगे and it will be very difficult to run a country. So they have decided for a non-democratic approach. But our leaders have approached it for the democratic manner. So in the second paragraph, the condition in India were not very different, but the leaders of newly independent India decided to take the more difficult path. Democracy is seen as a difficult path at that time. Any other path would have been surprising, for our freedom struggle was deeply committed to the idea of democracy. Our leaders were conscious of the critical role of politics in any democracy. Clear? They did not see politics as their problem. They saw it as a way of solving the problem. See, the situation is same for all the countries, but our leaders are seeing the situation in a different manner. Whereas the leaders of other countries have seen it as a problem. It means democracy, but our leaders has seen democracy as a solution. So in the next paragraph, last year we studied how our democracy, our constitution was adopted. I have given in so many times in our exam also. So 3 dates are important here. All the 3 dates comes in a 1 mark question. First is that our constitution was adopted on 26 November 1949. It was adopted, and I'm highlighting the word adopted, in 26 November 1949. Signed on 24th January 1950. Our constitution was signed on 24th November and it came into effect in 26 January 1950. See, all the 3 dates are different. Adopted, signed, came into force. Adopted on 26 November 1949, signed on 24 January 1950 and came into force on 26 January 1949. 50. So all 3 dates are very important. So at that time the country was being ruled by interim government. It was now necessary to install the first democratically elected government of the country. So the first task for our country after getting independence is how we run our country, who will rule it, how we will govern our country, who are the member who will govern us. So for this, the main task is election. The constitution had laid down the rules. Now the machine had to be put in place. Initially it was thought that this was the only a matter of few months. Starting में ऐसा लगा कि election बहुत छोटा process है and it will be completed in few months. And after a few months we will get the first electedly government in our country. And the first election commission of India was set up in January 1950, and the Mr. Sukumar Sen became the first chief election commissioner. This often comes in one mark question, and it is a important GK question also, that who was the first election commission of India. The country's first general election was expected sometime in 1950 itself. 1950 में ही इसे बनाया गया, और ऐसा माना जाने लगा कि 1950 में ही हम अपना फर्स्ट इलेक्शन पूरा कर लेंगे. बट इन द नेक्स्ट पेज, चैलेंजेस. व्हाट आर द चैलेंजेस? क्वेश्चन काफ़ी बार ये एग्जाम में आता है कि व्हाट आर द चैलेंजेस ऑफ इलेक्शन कमीशन of India for their first election. So the challenges are, in the first line, that it was not going to be easy to hold a free and fair election in a country of India's size. As we have read in the geography part also, that India is the 7th largest country according to size in the world. और इतने बड़े कंट्री के इतनी ज़्यादा पॉपुलेशन के लिए इलेक्शन कराना एक बहुत ही मेहनत टास्क, बहुत ही बड़ा टास्क था. Second point is holding an election required delimitation and drawing the boundaries of electoral constituencies. सबसे पहले तो हमको इंडिया को ही बांटना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि पूरे इंडिया के इलेक्शंस एक साथ नहीं हो सकते. So therefore we have to divide it in according to delimitation. Delimitation आपको याद रखना है. In 11th first chapter we have read about this delimitation commission. I have given in your exam also. It also required preparing the electoral rolls or the list of all the citizens eligible to vote. जितने भी citizens eligible हैं वोट के, उन सब का नाम लिखना, ये पता करना कि उनकी एज क्या है, और फिर उनको प्रिपेयर करना फॉर इलेक्शन mentally and physically also. When the first draft of rules was published, it was discovered that the name of nearly 40 lakh women were not recorded in the list. काफ़ी लोगों को हम लोग भूल गए, and their names were not in the list. So our election commission has declined it, and they have decided to again make a rule. Then at that time there were 17 crore eligible voters. At that time there were 17 crore